Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm Mario here, and we're back for the Muxy Toys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games for the Nintendo Wii U. So yes, yesterday that we actually did manage to showcase the Carnival challenges worked out, and even then we actually got a crap ton of views. Like, we actually got about 62 views, which is quite weird, considering how we didn't get as much views as the ones in Mario and Sonic at the original Olympic Games, or especially the Vancouver 2010 game. But either way though, so yeah, we did showcase the Carnival challenges worked out, and as you can tell that we actually did all of those successfully without any sort of failures. However, if you do fail one of the Carnival challenges, you get back into the beach, and then you have to do like brief loading screens again until you actually just redo that again. So just keep that little suggestions until now. So today for this video, we're actually going to be tackling through the last main mode of the game, which is essentially the tournament gate, which I believe this may actually be the single player campaign, or else I believe that you can also just manage to play this mode with your co-op buddy, but either way though. So this is how the tournament gate works out. You do have a 3 different selection of events that you can actually tackle through. But right now, since we did actually play this game in our own time, that means we actually reach up to max difficulty. And the reason why is because, well, if you completely finish the level 3 tournaments, now you have yourselves, not only you have the ability to actually just continuously playing through those events during the tournament gate, but you have the ability to actually use to play as Mario and Sonic characters, including the guest characters as well. So yeah, that was actually quite, that's the reason why we decided to leave Tournament Gate for later. Then there's another option, such as you go through the past tournaments, which you can revisit to any tournaments you wanted to, and you can tell that we already got our emblem from Equestrian, because I found this mode particularly quite easy. Now, we did play this game in our own time, and then we actually completed every single tournament, but we didn't claim first place on, let's say, 3 different events, such as dual football, because we're off by a few points ahead after about a split second left. Thanks to those computer AI, they're just really damn good at it. And also beach volleyball, that we seem to actually just be okay at it, but not the best all over the world. And table tennis, let's just say, fudge this event. So, either way though, because of their timing and stuff like that, it always screw us up. Now, originally, we're supposed to be doing the tournament mode, in this case the tournament gate, during the max difficulty, but we did try it on the second attempt, or the first attempt of this recording session, but right now this is actually the second attempt this recording session. Well, let me tell you, the max difficulty, especially in the tournament gate scenario, is very hard. So, but rather than just actually doing that, but instead we might actually just to showcase those in the level 2 scenario. Because I found level 3 difficulty in those events can be really tough, especially annoying. But we're just gonna have to mostly go for level 2, just because it might find us a bit easier. And plus it's for the demonstration, so that we can actually tell you guys how the tournament game works. So yeah, when you're about to go ahead, and then also, yeah, you can actually just play as the Mario and Sonic characters once you actually beat the tournament gate in level 3. This means all the events. So it might be a bit of a repetitive side of things, but it won't be that hard, assuming if you actually go to the level 3 tournament difficultiness, which means it's just actually very hard. So yeah, this is how this tournament mode works, and basically, although right now we're actually playing as Netbits, because one of the things we might actually showcase to you all is the fact that some of these special characters, including like the newcomers, victory animations. Like for instance, well, we'll discuss more onto those guys until when it gets to it. So yeah. So you're basically going to have to come across into one of those events, and then if you're actually going to be tackling for those 3 different rounds, and then basically if you actually just to get a Q icon, this means qualified, and this means you actually proceed to the tournament. And yeah, every single me's in across the world, so that you can actually compete against with them during the actual races, or in this case some of the actual events. And then yeah. What's nice about the tournament gate, especially if you actually completed the level 3 tournament, that you can actually just take control of your character, like for instance, where you actually take control of Nabbit across the hub world, which is really nice though. Considering how that you can actually talk to some different Miis throughout the different countries or regions, but the only exception is the other NPCs. Well, besides the blue toad, so yeah. And there's also you can talk to the item stand NPCs, like I think it's Cream, and then Omochao and Pianta. Because yes, Pianta was actually back since I don't know how long have we seen Pianta for. I think last time we did saw the Pianta for, I think it was actually based on let's just say, although I may be wrong on that, but maybe Mario Party 9 on that Pianta Pool minigame. Yeah, I think that's why I was going to be going for that part, but or maybe just that Mario Tennis Ultra Smash probably. I don't know. Let us guys know in the comments below if how long have we seen a Pianta for, or maybe we can discuss more on Piantas returning on during our own time just to actually research on the Mario Party Wikipedia, or in this case Super Mario Wikipedia. So yeah. So yeah, you get the idea. If you actually proceed to, if you actually claim, it doesn't matter if you came first, second, or third, or fourth for that matter, especially it consists of there's 8 players involved. But some of the time, mainly due to the tournament, so that during the tournament table, you're actually going to be anticipated to actually compete against with those 4 players. Meaning that you have to be second, or possibly first in the team scenario, but you're gonna have to win at least first place during the actual competitions like table tennis and dual beach volleyball and dual football, beach volleyball, and you get the idea. And every time when you proceed to the finals match, that you can actually see one of those Mii characters, including one of either the Mario and Sonic characters, depends on what characters you're using, is actually shown onto the little camera perspective. So yeah, I found this really cool to look at. It does kind of reminds me of the announcement trailer of this in back in 2015, which, admittedly though, that was actually the first character, the first newcomer that we actually saw was easily Nabbit. And after when you finish the entirety of the tournament, then you actually proceed to the award ceremony. So here we have ourselves a gold. So yeah, that's Nabbit's first place victory animation. And then once you actually finish one of the tournaments, assuming if depends on what difficulty you select, but again, it's mostly that we actually did play level 3 in our own time. That we actually just, even though that at first we actually were using Nabbit, but then we return back into the actual Mii character, specifically onto your profile Wii U Mii. So, and then once you actually claim your special prize, and that's usually the secondary objective, is by basically doing some certain conditions of your tournament standpoint, like. For instance, I think we actually did beat under 15 seconds in 100 meters, and then if you do it successfully, then you can pretty much guarantee that you actually claim your double amount of coins, and especially rings. However, if you do use rings onto... although... frick, what am I talking about? And yes, if you actually go into the past tournaments, that you can actually just actually rematch against with those guest characters whenever you wanted to. And yeah, because I already mentioned this before, that this is actually the first Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games, because the first Mario and Sonic game to feature the unlockable character system. Because originally that back in the Olympic Winter Games, when they first announced it back in February 2009, I believe, that originally that that game was supposed to have the first ever Mario and Sonic game to feature the unlockable characters, mainly still for Donkey Kong, Metal Sonic, and Bowser Jr. But it turns out these characters have been unlocked from the get-go, so I think that's worth noting for anyway. Alright, here we are, it's 4 times 100 meter relay, which we're going to be using Toad for this, and Mario, and Amy, and Blaze. Because yes, if you couldn't tell already, Especially if you guys should know this already, if you guys play Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games before, that this game actually brings back the special animations, which it always seems to happen when you play as certain characters for certain teams. Like for instance, if you actually be basically for example, if you actually be doing this event as Mario and Luigi, that Mario and Luigi does a special animation victory if they claim first place. And then there's also the ones for Sonic and Dr. Eggman, and there's also Mario and Bowser, and Mario and Donkey Kong. And then I think the same goes for the likes of Peach and Daisy, Wario and Waluigi, and I believe also Vector and Donkey Kong, and some other characters, and yeah. So yeah, we actually claimed first place onto that race, and then yeah, we can now actually just walk around the hub world as the actual red Toad. Well, except he doesn't have the red coat on him, so instead it's just blue, just like in the actual Mario Party games. So yeah, it's really cool to actually just to see the guest characters walk about. And then this might actually be the first time ever you guys gonna see the Toad is actually running, which, in this case, just walk around the hub world, which is really, really nice. And then what's really cool is that, oh, we got still a question mark right there. But yeah, one thing we haven't mentioned is that yeah, every time when you actually proceed to the events, especially noticeable, I think it only works when you're actually on a tournament gate. If you come towards the these question marks, meaning that when you first time playing the game, that you actually unlock those different region flags. But then later on, as soon as you actually get into the tournament gates and stuff, when you get into some of these different events, you get one of those special tip cards to actually let you know for special advices. So, yeah, that's how that usually just goes for the question mark parts for above from the Mii's characters. Another worth knowing for is that if one of these Mii characters actually has a exclamation mark on it onto the right next to the icon, this means that the Mii competitors can get pretty tougher, so... But even then, it won't be as noticeable in level 1 or level 2, or even level 3 for that matter in some cases. But when it gets to the max difficulty, that if we originally we're going to tackle for that, but these guys can get really tough. So anyway, yeah, as I said earlier, that in order to actually unlock one of the guest characters, so that you're gonna have to, again, you're gonna have to go through these tournament gates. And then, well, first of all, we actually have Nebus that we guys already saw. In order to actually unlock him, you need to actually do, although, granted, since there are a grand total of 14 different guest characters, besides 20 from the 3DS version, but even then, 6 of them, or in this case, jeez, I really don't know. 3 are cut out from the Wii U version or something. Oh yeah, I think we got also another pro tip card. I believe there are five of them in total for each event, so just a little guys know about that. I still really enjoy the how Toad is actually talking to Blue Toad, which is really, really cool. Because even then though, it does sort of kind of reminds me like Mario Party 10 for just a little bit of extent, and also for the same likes of Mario Party Island Tour for Bowser's Tower, when the actual red Toad is actually just speak to the green Toad from the host of Bowser's Tower. But either way. So here we are at the finals in 4x100 meter relay, so yeah. So yeah, the method of unlocking those guest characters, you're gonna have to do those specific tournament events. So sometimes though, there are a grand total of 16 guest characters, as what Mario already mentioned. That in order to actually unlock them, though some of them, mainly 7 in each character, that 7 is actually pretty obvious by completing certain events in level 1, and in the other 7 that you have to complete in level 2. So we'll discuss onto that when we actually get into the next event, which will have to be triple jump, which won't be a team effort, but hey. And since we actually had a flawless victory onto this race, although granted it might be pathetically easy for some, but again, we just could have wished if we can do it on max difficulty, although we wish they do that, but that's not gonna happen. So yeah, if you're actually using Mario and Toad in this specific event, then you get us this special animation, so let's you see.
Mario's the winner.
So yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that how these special animation, victory animations do make a return in this title. Because even then though, that back in Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, that it did add something new to the table, like they actually bring in some online play, as well as the special victory animations, depends on what position you're in. I think mostly common is, I think it's first place. That's, I'm pretty sure that's what I was gonna be, understand what I was gonna say. Oh, if you actually just to be revisiting those past tournaments, you won't able to let the carnival actually appear. The only time you can only do that is when you actually just to do the new tournaments instead of the past ones. So, yeah. Now we move on to triple jump, where we're gonna have to compete against with Espio onto level 2. And yeah, and yeah, if those of you be curious, that if you can see on screen, that, as you can tell, there is actually a question mark icon. This meaning that it could be either a Mario and Sonic character, it depends on what computer opponents they're trying to use it on. So, it can be a bit randomized though, so that you're gonna have to know, I don't know what character you're gonna actually compete against within. So, but I'm assuming that the question mark icon, meaning that it depends on what Mario or Sonic characters, one of these characters they actually use it from. And they always attempt to have the exclamation mark icon right next to their icon, so yeah. Alright, now we had triple jump where we're going to be using SPO for this event, because, well, we haven't seen his victory animation for a long while. Granted, we haven't exactly shown all of the victory animations for all the characters in the previous Mario and Sonic games, because mostly that, although normally that we did actually, sort of a little bit of, saw a little briefly on the London 2012 installment. But even then, we haven't exactly showcased the special animations from the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, because during the Legends Showdown, you always have to be forced to play as those specific characters, not just what characters you want to pick from all the characters. So, because normally in Sochi 2014's Legends Showdown, that you're gonna have to pick one of those 4 characters in one of these areas, so, you know. So yeah, we actually qualified for this particular quarters, or in this case a quarter match. So yeah, this feels really nifty. Now, during the unlockable characters department in the Nintendo 3DS version, you're gonna have to, like, I believe you can once again unlock 7 of them, just like it does in the Wii U version counterpart. But except it functions quite differently, because right now, although granted we'll talk about more on later, here's SBO running around in the hub world, and then he can tell that he can actually talk to Charmy, or in this case see Charmy, just trying to see just standing right here. And by the way, since Daisy was actually showed up, or in this case Princess Peach either way, I was kept on thinking of something else. If you actually see one of the NPC characters, or in this case the actual playable characters standing in the hub world, mostly for example Peach, that she was going to be a tougher competitor onto that event right now, you can also speak to one of those characters so that you can actually get yourselves a freebie flag, so that you can actually unlock that during the your data file. So that's actually quite nice. Because, yeah, there are a grand total of 14, is it 14? No, I think it might be wrong. 17, I should say. Well, in this case, 17, yeah. 17, characters for each, franchise, so that you're gonna have to get. Wow, this me is doing really, really rubbish right now. And by the way, if you actually just to actually finish the level 3 tournament, there you can actually unlock yourselves a bonus costume. If you can see on the bottom screen, onto the, well, the bottom screen of this little, split screen. Oh, darn it, we got Valve. Come on, really? Well, whatever. At least we actually proceed to the finals right now. That time, if you can tell that you actually unlock that costume if you actually finish level 3 of the tournament gate. So, pretty nice reward, I have to say. Like, including the headgear, including the suit as well. So, that's a nice little reward for that. So, as far as the tournament gates videos is concerned, that it might take a little bit longer just because of how some of these events can overdone by quick. Although some other times though, it will be kind of like long to actually just to get it over with. So yeah. So yeah, if you can tell that we actually got these rings instead of coins, because every time when you like play as the Mario characters, you only just to get the coins. But if you play as one of the Sonic characters, you only just got rings. But in order to get both of them at the same time, that you have to play as your Miis. So yeah, just to let you guys know that. Alright, now we move on to the finals in triple jump, so it's not much to discuss. Well, besides the amount of limited amount of tries that you have to do in these rounds. Like for instance, in the first round, in this case the quarter match, you're gonna have to do for 3 tries. And then if you're in the semi-finals, you have to do it twice, or in this case 2 tries. And then since we're in the final round, then you only have like 1 try. I believe if you actually failed, if you get a foul from 1 try for this particular match, I'm pretty sure that you might actually ended up in 8th automatically. So you know. And surprisingly, Peach came 2nd place. At first that she was actually in 1st place, but wow, she did pretty well on that.
Nice.
So here's SBO claim his gold medal of his. And I think we might actually show one more event of this video, mostly due to the athletic videos department. Or else when we get to the next episode, that we can probably guarantee that we might actually go ahead and do even a bit longer video, like during the other events and stuff. So you know. Alright, now we got gold, and because we actually got a special prize, that means we actually got a double amount of rings. So that's kind of nice. So now we're going to be doing probably the last event of the athletics, such as, let's do Javelin Throw. And you can actually compete against with Dry Bowser onto that event, if you actually play this game for your first time around. In order to actually unlock him is by basically compete against the Javelin Throw event is by completing that in level 2 as opposed to level 1. Because every time when I did try it, test it out in my actual own time, when I first got the game, that it doesn't seem to work on level 1, so in order to do that, you have to do level 2. And I think it's also the same likes of SBO, Toad, and Nabbit as well. And I believe also Styx and Larry Cooper and Windy Cooper. And as for the rest of the characters, mainly the last 7 characters, I think it's mostly in level 1. So that might be simple and straightforward, but you know. But again, just like how it does in Super Smash Bros. Franchise, you only have, although the only exception to this, it will be the Wii U version of Smash 4, especially the, I think the 3DS version as well, that you can do as many tries as you can. Like, it's also the same with likes of the 3DS version as well of the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. But the Wii U version, just like it does in the previous Smash Bros. Games like 64, Melee, and especially Brawl, that you only have 1 try to actually just to compete against with the guest characters if you want to unlock them. So, you know. I think Dry Bowser is easily the best player to use, especially consists of you trying to deal with the maximum level of difficulty with the tournament gate and whatever. I think that might be the ideal way to do that, if we did consist of doing it on our own time as well. Yeah, you know, just like how it does in Mario Party 2's minigame minigame coaster, that Sylvester originally he was going to do that back in 2015, but he found it to be quite tough and difficult. But I think this goes for the same likes of this game as well for max difficulty, which is essentially the hard mode, really intense hard mode. But either way. So yeah, I'm quite surprised at how Dry Bowser makes his playable debut in this game. Now, originally, that again, I think I haven't sort of mentioned this before, although I think I already have, although maybe I'm wrong. But originally, during the opening cutscene, that originally Boom Boom was supposed to be playable in Javelin Throw, but because of he's actually technically some sort of playable debut in the Rugby Sevens, well, technically you can control one of them, but not fully playable per se, but instead it's actually been replaced as Dry Bowser. So, I think Dry Bowser might be a good way to actually put him as guest character, because I think Dry Bowser is already in Javelin Throw from before in the 3DS version, so that might be the case here. So yeah, I guess there's not much else we can just speak of. And speaking of the new stuff we like to talk about, recently that Nintendo of UK did actually reveal some new stuff that's been coming during the new trailers, and as well as the Rio 2016 Olympics actual thing stuff. So basically, first things first, they actually revealed the new trailer of Paper Mario Color Splash, which was known as the I think it's called Justice, or in this case, Rescue 5 Squad. And I found that concept of these 5 colored toads, mainly called the Rescue series, they look really cool and menacing at the same time. Although, it's sort of like, even though that Paper Mario fans might be disappointed with some of the characters aren't original this time around, because even then, that some of the Paper Mario fanboys out there, or Paper Mario fans, do really wish if they want to bring in just new characters, but instead it was actually just generic toads. Which, to be honest, I don't mind the toads that much. They aren't nearly annoying, to me anyway. Now we can discuss about one final thing, and that was the actual Rio 2016 thing itself. Recently we did watch it for briefly, and it looks like we actually got still in second place in Great Britain for gold medals. Because right now we actually got 17 gold, although still 17 silver. We actually got 1 gold medal from sailing, thanks to Finn Men. Or in this case, well, just sailing Finn Men. Who's got it, it was actually Gales, which I can't pronounce that name very well. And lastly we got ourselves another bronze, which was actually on women's floor exercise at the gymnastics, which is known as Amy Fickler, which she actually did claim bronze medal. So yeah, good thing to notice that from her already, so you know. So here's Dry Bowser claim himself a nice little fashionable gold medal, and I think we're safe to say that we might actually end this episode right here. So even then, we're still going to continue the tournament game no matter what. So, but it's just a matter of we're going to be doing it just in level 2, just because even then that max difficulty might be a bit of a tough time to do. So we'll discuss more onto that when we actually get into the next video specifically. So yeah, I think that might be a perfect way to do that with that being said, Mario. But okay, so we're gonna have to end things off here. So tomorrow, Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games for the Nintendo Wii U is that we might actually go ahead and do one of the all of the shorter events, and then we're actually gonna head and save the main events at the top here for last, because these are by far the longest of the bunch. So anyway, see you guys then. Later, fellas.